Hey, JP. Hi, Vivian. Hello, Ella. How are you, honey? Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
How's it going?
All right, so I would just like to thank y'all for your time. We really appreciate it, and with this presentation, we really hope to get you to believe in this product as much as we do. Okay, so I just wanted to start off with a question. So how many of you have an iPhone? Awesome, right? 2019, who doesn't have an iPhone? Like, just last week, I got a call from my grandma. She got an iPhone. And then the second question. So how many of y'all have noticed that under certain climates, your phone seems to lag or shut off? None of y'all?
Super cold. I've seen it happen.
Or super hot, super
So
hot.
we have all
Leave it
faced
in the
this problem
sun.
both directly and indirectly, and we believe we have come up with an innovative solution to this reoccurring problem. We are Brisktech. I'm JP Flanagan.
I'm Vivian Hartz.
I'm Ella Armstrong.
I'm Paige Davis.
And I'm Brady Hunter.
So imagine the phone case you have now, right? It's durable and stylish. But now we want to add the feature that you can use your phone in all weather conditions, whether that be in Colorado skiing, in Port A at the beach, or maybe you just left your phone on the dash.
So at the beginning of the year, we generated a list of problems, and a problem that we all had was our phone overheating. And after conducting our problem interviews, we realized that many people also have the problem of their phone getting too cold. So we researched more, and after researching, we realized that both aspects would benefit the customers. So we created a case that both aspects of cold and hot would be in our case. Our customer segments, we're targeting anyone who has an iPhone and is outdoors and adventurous, whether that's they're outdoor skiing or they're at the beach in Port A. Our final solution is to create a case that's durable, climate protective, and stylish. Our competitors, our direct competitor is Fuzi. Fuzi is a bag that you put your phone in, and it protects your phone from overheating. And then LifeProof and OtterBox are indirect competitors, and those just protect your phone from dropping and breaking.
And what makes our phone case different from our competitors, we believe we can incorporate durability, style, and design into our phone case, all while you can have it stable in extreme temperatures to keep you safe. For our total accessible market, we are started out by targeting 1.3 million people in San Antonio ages 18 to 65 that have iPhones with the case. And assuming that they would purchase our product at a frequency of one phone case per year at $40, our TAM revenue would come out to around 54 million. And for our SAM, which is our serviceable addressable market, we would target a more local area in San Antonio of around 90,000 customers and have a revenue of around $4 million. For marketing, we currently have an Instagram at Brisktech, which is where we plan to do our advertising through. And we are also currently working on a website so our customers can have access to purchase our product online. And we're also considering putting our phone cases in kiosks at malls to purchase. Logo. Since the beginning of the year, we've been working on a logo to my left, and we've just finalized it down to this one, and we plan to include it on the back of our cases or making it into stickers and such.
We plan to sell 35 cases our first month to help us reach our first year goal of 1,300, and we plan to grow exponentially by 9.7% per month. For our cost of goods sold, depending on what material you use, it's $11 to $27 per case. We haven't decided on a material yet because we still need to test that. And our startup costs are about $17,000 for website design and analysis, marketing, and prototypes. So our minimum viable product is going to be prototypes, and we have various materials like filament for 3D printing, polystyrene, and pipe insulation, and our goal is to find something that prevents from heat and cold.
So for MVP type, since we're making a prototype, we have a 3D printer provided for us here. And with our cost, we will be purchasing filament that we will be using to make the outline of our cases. And with the outline of our cases, we'll be inserting the materials that we will also purchase. So this is our cost structure, and our total is $500. And we're planning on with that to purchase the 3D printing material and 3 materials to insert in there. We also want to purchase an Instagram ad, which will be running through Instagram for about 6 months, our domain name, and we would like about $197 to construct our website. For our validation, we're planning on sending our final prototype out to social media influencers who will then ask to promote our product on their Instagrams and social media aspects, and then we will get following and get people interested in our product. For our timeline, we will have about 3 months to make our final prototype, which we will figure out which material works best for either the hot or the cold or both. We need our funding so we can furthermore research into how we're going to make our case and what material we will use in our final product of our case. And we would like to thank you all for being here, and we hope we can soon keep your iPhones cool.
Good job, guys. So one of your other competitors that you didn't have up there is really iPhone, is Apple itself. Obviously, they're always trying to innovate their products and make them better. One of the things I think you need to measure is kind of the temperature where those problems really occur. And it probably says it in the manual.
It's actually over 95 degrees and 100 degrees.
Over 95 internally. So we can certainly reach that here in Texas.
We can certainly reach the downside in Minneapolis or Minnesota.
Right. One of the things that then I would add to your MVP is once you make the product, yes, you're going to give it to people to see how it works, but I think you need to do some testing on, put it in some of those situations, try it without the case, and then try it with the case to make sure the case is really working.
So with the funding, we planned on using our own old iPhones that we have. We were going to create the case and run multiple tests under certain
Right.
circumstances, like the heat, and then some of us travel a lot, so we definitely test the cold.
Right. It's good, actually, that there are some of the, like the Fuzi. Is that still out there? Can you buy it?
But it's a bag, it's.
Yeah, it's not a
that's-
great,
I don't
it's not a
like
real
it.
eloquent. No, that's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
It'd
that
be
is.
interesting to see, you know, if you could figure out how much Fuzi has grown. And, you know, that looks like not a real eloquent solution to the problem. So if they're doing well, that's only good news for you.
I think one thing that may be helpful, because my only concern with it is that it's a pretty, it's hitting a need, but we all have a lot of needs from our iPhones. So if you could maybe pair it with, like, I'm thinking the heat and cold, so a lot of those cases you're near water, whether it's snow or you're near the beach, and so there's maybe a waterproofing component that could just kind of maybe make it so it's that, oh, not only do I get some protection from the elements, but then I get the waterproofing, just because, just somehow to add something more to where someone can say, okay, I'm getting a couple benefits out of this. Because I personally haven't had a lot of problems with this issue, but I'm sure maybe it's just because we're not in the summer, so once we get there, I'm probably going to be nervous about it again. But that's what I'm just thinking. Maybe a guy like me, if I go skiing and I know this is also going to keep it, if it drops in the snow, it keeps it waterproof. That's kind of enough to where I would say, okay. Or if I know I'm going to the beach, and so I don't know if that's possible. Maybe through the 3D printing and stuff, you can look if a design like that works. Because I think Otter does do waterproof, right? Or it's not just protection from falling. It's
Yeah.
And we've been talking about adding more elements.
We talked about that at the beginning of the year, making it waterproof, but we weren't really sure how that would work.
Well, I mean, and what makes it compelling is if you're waterproof and also provide protection, right, from breaking, and then add this to it, because I know, I have experienced this just at the pool. I mean, if your phone sits in your bag and it's in the sun, it affects it, so I mean, it's definitely an issue. I've never experienced it in the cold, but,
One thing that might also, and I don't know if this is even possible, I'm just thinking out loud, but, you know, some cans now tell you how cold it is. And I would think temperature gauge technology is pretty simple, even letting you know, okay, my phone's at below 90 or above. So I'm in danger now, so thank God I have this case or something, I don't know.
So I'm not clear about how your case, like what's going in your case? What is actually going to keep it cold when it's hot outside or warm enough when it's cold
It's
outside?
gonna be a thermal insulators.
So insulation,
Nothing will
okay.
actually get to the internal part of your phone.
Okay.
So it will just be protecting it from the elements, the sun, the snow. So internally it wouldn't get affected.
Okay.
So like
Do you-
overall, the battery life wouldn't be affected.
I
Okay.
don't think Tanner-
So the thing I think you'll need to think about in your design is, what we've all said is that this is a pretty temporary annoyance, right? It doesn't happen to you every day, happens pretty infrequently, and when it does happen, you can solve it pretty quickly, right? If it's in the sun and it's hot, you put it in your pocket and get it out of the sun, it solves itself fairly quickly. Same on the cold, maybe not, you know, as quickly as you want it to. But you also got to think about with your design, are you trading one annoyance for another? Right? Is all this insulation going to have a really bulky case? Or you're going to have to cover up the screen in a way that somebody doesn't want to? So you got to think about that trade-off there. Are you just creating another problem by solving the one you're trying to solve?
We've thought about the potential problem with the front of your phone, so if you flap over.
Uh-huh.
But we want to test multiple ways to where we can try to avoid that.
Yep.
Maybe a glass of some sort. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, because we've definitely thought about it.
Okay, good.
and it may not be that even it's a permanent case that you, maybe it's when you travel or you're going to the beach, you're going to the pool, so you may have to bring your, I don't know if you bring your price point down, but I mean, to me, it would be worth it. I would buy an extra, I have a lot of cases, but I would buy an extra case, right, for, when I go to the pool, if that would, you know, or travel and I'm going to the beach or something, I mean, but the other comment, you talked about kiosk in the malls, which I think is great, but I would also put a kiosk in the airports. So, just thought.
Do you know if there is any micro ventilation in these things?
I'm sure there's probably a fan running.
I think there is
lot
a,
of electronics
like,
have
a little
to-
micro. So on the heating side, you might, that's blowing out heated air. You might try and come up with a design that in the cold weather harnesses that and circulates it and tries to contain it.
Yeah.
And then on the hot weather side, don't, I mean, I deal with this in roofing all the time. The power of reflectivity is big. So a mirrored case that reflects that sunlight can do almost as much or more good than insulation, which is a lot bulkier. But I think it's an interesting problem you're trying to solve here.
Do you all have anyone helping you on the design side? One of the things that I kept looking at as we were going through here, like, you all are gonna test, you wanna test a bunch of different things, but I didn't really know what this looked like, to the point of, what is this product gonna look like, and are you gonna have to trade off these things? So then I go to, is anyone helping you? Do you know, to be able to meet the design things that you all want, along with meeting the technical aspects that you want? Do you have help with that from an engineer or anyone?
Not at the moment, but Brady has actually been before in rocketry, so it wouldn't be impossible to figure it out. Test it later.
I think someone like, almost like a chemical engineer maybe, or something
Yeah,
like
I
that, to
just
where
think
how
it
these
might be
things.
helpful
Materials
to you
scientist.
all, so
Or
you're not,
mechanical
so you're,
engineering.
one, efficiently using the money that you've asked for with the MVP to make prototypes that are more feasible, so you're not just having to make over and over and it not work.
There's plenty of people with good connections to
Yes.
Southwest Research. Southwest Research has some of the most unbelievable mechanical engineering around. So if you could get plugged into that,
Yeah, I
And I
think
might
that
be able
would
to
be
help you, but-
helpful, and you'd be more efficient with your prototypes.
Great,
Good job.
thanks.
Great job.
Thanks.
Great job, guys.